Alright guys, I'm new to the group, but I've posted a couple of things that I've made since finding this group. I love this group, y'all. I love these cups. I'm so addicted to them. So here's the thing. I made slushies last night as soon as I got my the cups, and a lot of y'all were asking me how I did this. It's really easy. I know, I think I saw Jessica made some. She made them with the mini ice. I actually used salt. So the brand I have, you can get this at Walmart. It's just sea salt. It's the coarse sea salt. And so I buy it at Walmart. I actually use this to decorate the tops of my soaps. I mix it. Hi Jessica, thank you so much for letting me do this. And I'm going to try not to say a lot. But this is the salt I used for the slushies. It takes about almost 2 tablespoons for one color if you're going to do 1 cup. And that's giving it with the little things. Sometimes you add a little bit more, so I actually have a little extra cup. I'm going to move my phone down so you guys can see what I'm doing down here. And you don't have to look at my face. I'm not quite awake and I don't put makeup on. Oh, you're so welcome. I love to help others, and there were so many questions about this. I thought this would be the thing to do, and I'm gonna restart the video on my tablet to see if it will actually let me see comments on my tablet, because I'm gonna put my phone down and it won't let me see it. So I may not see comments because my tablet, for whatever reason, is not showing comments. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to show me comments. If you guys ask me questions and I don't respond, it's because I'm not seeing it. I'm looking at my tablet as well. My phone is kind of up on a tripod hanging over my workspace. I did an experiment last night. The first night I tried these. These are actually the caulk, the Dollar Tree caulk. I don't like this only because it spreads more than I would prefer. I do a lot of piping, not for cakes or anything, but I do piping on my soaps. I make goat's milk soap as well. But this it just spreads too much. I'm not a fan of that. So I thought I was going to look up online YouTube videos to see if I could find other options to use for that. And I did. I found some really great ones. I found 3 of them. I only tried 2 last night just because the first one didn't work out so well. It was the air dry clay, mixing it with water. Well, that one is still really soft, and it flattened a lot, and it didn't really hold the shape that was piped. So this one was a no-go for me. And then I tried what I saw in another video using this. Guys, this is the best. It's the perfect texture. I just opened this thing up, poured in just a tiny bit of the glue, Elmer's Glue All glue, as well as some white paint, you know, the white acrylic paint. Nothing fancy. I just put in enough white to kind of dampen the tone, because this stuff has a blue tone to it. You don't want that. You don't want that on your coffee. So I went ahead and made some of these. They have held up. Can you see that? Perfect. So from now on, when I do pipe these, this is what I'm going to use. I won't use anything else. There's no point in it. I mean, I think it's a little expensive. I think someone said that they can find it at the Dollar Tree. I don't know. I know you can find the caulk, but I found that at Walmart, and it's expensive. It's like $4.87, but I got a lot of these out of this, and I only used half of it. So I've got, with some little glitter, I'm sorry, my camera is not focusing really well today, but I'm trying. And like I said, I'm so sorry that I'm not seeing the comments or who's in here on my tablet, and my phone is pointed down, so I may not respond to you until after the video is done. Anyways, that's that. So on with the slushie. You're not going to use very much epoxy. You're going to use the slightest amount. I did blue red, oh, purple. I did a purple also. This is the blue actually, but my purple, which I used the purple Twilight, and it turned blue. In the picture I posted the last night, it was actually purple, but it doesn't stay. So I'm gonna go ahead and make another purple, but I'm gonna use mica. I've got tons of mica because of course I use it in my soaps too, but and I also made this one. This one was fun and it's very time consuming, and I would be happy to show you guys this if you're interested in it. It would just have to be a video of this one alone because this took forever to make. So I've got my epoxy ready. I'm just gonna mix it up real quick. I'm gonna put my hair up and get the epoxy stirred. And really wishing that my tablet would let me see y'all's comments. Let me see if I restart it, if it'll work. And still nothing. Anyways, I'm so sorry. So y'all, I'm gonna just be talking to myself for the most part. Also, I want to show you the chocolate drizzle that I got on the cup, or the topping is actually a 3D paint. I picked it up at Michael's only because they had them on sale, and I just happened to get to go to Michael's this past weekend. My husband took me to a ham radio convention he wanted to go to, so I made him take me to Michael's. This is what I bought, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is at Walmart. You can buy these at Walmart for less than $1 each, and this is colored, it's chocolate, hot chocolate. So, and it's actually perfect. It really does look like chocolate syrup. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix my color. I'm using a mica for the purple because I'm gonna do the purple first. I'm going to add a fairly good amount of the mica in here and just get this ready. And this is a purple laser cut glitter, I guess. It's kind of purple reddish. I'm not sure. It's just really pretty. And because I'm a little extra and I love glitter, I am adding even more glitter. And a fairly good amount. This is just a white iridescent. It's one I buy in bulk for soaping. It's a skin safe glitter, and that literally goes into or onto almost every one of my soaps as well. So I'm gonna just mix this color in, and then I'll start my epoxy. And I'm sorry, this is the most boring part of this process, as you guys know. Making sure you get your epoxy mixed real good. I really need to have my husband make me a mixer that does this for me, because I hate this process. I'm gonna try to see if I can see what you're saying. Well, Marie, I am going to save it so that it can post to the group, so anybody can watch it after the fact. And if Jessica will let me, I'll actually do a video on piping and mixing the caulk or the spackling. It's lightweight spackling. I probably won't do it this morning only because I have cups that I have to get worked on, and I've got to get some stuff in the mail, so I need to stop playing and actually get to work. These are just so much fun to make. And sadly, I'm almost out of cups. Guys, I'm sorry, this is the longest part. I just want to make sure it gets really good and mixed. Now I know some of you guys are using the alcohol inks for your coffee cups. I think that's awesome. I tried it the other night, and I know somebody said that it goes from green to brown, but I kind of freaked out and just decided at the same time, because I already have the dye for it, I'm mixing my white, and then I mixed it like the tiniest amount of the brown dye, the epoxy dye, to get my chocolate color or coffee color. And I posted this morning a picture of one. It's my favorite coffee. It's pretty much the only one I ever order if I order coffee from anywhere other than home, is the caramel macchiato. I think I'll probably try adding the paint to the sides of the cup so that I could do a swirl, because a lot of, like, well, I know Starbucks does it. They actually put caramel down the side of the cup before they put the coffee in, or they put it in the bottom or something to that effect. So I probably will try doing one like that at some point, but I'll probably wait till I have more cups. I'm probably going to make about 6 cups with this batch of epoxy, and then I only have 5 cups left. I've already gone through 30 of them, guys, and I can't order any more until next week, and I'm desperate for more. Not because I sold any. I'm waiting on my stickers I ordered from Jen, and I have been looking up a couple of ones that I might try to make myself, but I may not. I may just wait. So I haven't sold any. I just want more, like 100 more. Sorry, you guys are seeing my head because I need to look and see. Caramel macchiato is live. Yes, it is. It is my favorite coffee when I'm not at home making my own. Yikes, I see my face in the video, and how awful is that? You don't notice how old you are until you start seeing yourself in photos. I have come to realize I am really getting up there in my years. I still feel like I'm in my 20s, but I am definitely not. My epoxy is taking just a little bit longer to mix because I think it's part B is, for some reason, it's cooled down to where it's kind of cloudy when I mix it, so it takes it just a little bit longer than normal to completely mix in. Alright, it's almost where it needs to be. There's some crystallization in it I've been finding. It seems to go away when I mix it and it heats up. Alright, so I've been putting down these little sheets for each different color because it does get a little bit messy. And I don't want to mess up the other colors. So as you can see, it looks really light, the purple from the mica. The mica actually will darken up with the epoxy in it. And you don't want to overdo the epoxy. You want to just put enough in the epoxy to wet the salt. With this much in here, it's a little hard to figure that out because you don't want to leave the epoxy on the bottom. Let's see if you can see this. You want to make sure you get that epoxy worked into all the salt. You may need a little more. Just start with small amounts until you get the effect that you need. It needs to almost look like wet sand, maybe. You can tell that the epoxy is there, but you don't want to overdo it with the epoxy because, you know, we all know epoxy is self-leveling and it will kind of fall if you put too much. And you want that little, if you're like me, you want the little top. I'm gonna just mix this up real good. And pray I have enough that I don't have to mix more for the top. I may have to start using a larger cup to mix these in just because I'm running out of the salt and having to mix just a little bit more. It probably needs a whole ounce or a whole cup of salt to really get a good Now, as you can see, it is very, it's not wet, but there is a good amount of epoxy in it. You don't want it swimming in the epoxy. And do it in layers. Put it in there and push it down so that it fills up the cavity. And once you get it pushed in real good, you can actually take your glove, and I'll end up taking my glove and pushing it down with my thumb to make sure it's good and packed. Just wipe your glove off so that you don't get it all over the outside of your cup, which I did the other night. And I'm going to apologize now. Now is the time my kids start waking up. I've got one who graduated, and so he's at home still. He just graduated this year. And then my middle daughter, she is actually homeschooling this year. We've registered her, but we're having issues getting her schedule started. So she tends to stay up really late sewing. She's taken after Mama in that respect, her creativity. But she sews. I'm going to add the tiniest bit of epoxy to that. It's about time for them to start waking up, and when they start waking up, it gets really loud in my house. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time just in case. Y'all know that the lids only go so far up, the dome shape, so you want to be real careful as to how much you're actually putting on the top. You want to pack it in there, and I kind of do it until it sticks real good, and then I'll take my thumb and I'll work it around. And it does help when the stick is clean. I just kind of build it up. And see what I mean? It's pretty, it gets pretty messy. So I'm gonna just take it and build up my dome, pack it in there together so it doesn't look like it's just all wonky sitting in there. I think this would look really good with the straw as well. But, and there you go. Let's see if I can get you to see it. I've got the little top, and then it's all packed in there pretty good. And then I'm gonna just set it aside so that it can dry. Wipe my hands, and I'm gonna go ahead and do another one. I'm gonna do green this time. Thank you, Jessica, for helping to answer questions. I'm sorry, guys, I cannot see your questions on my tablet unless I kind of bend over and y'all get a full face, my full face in the frame. All right, so I've got my cup, and this is how much I'm using because it would be really hard to stir. Well, let's do this. It was actually not too bad for this amount. That filled it up pretty good. I am going to do green this time. This is botanical if y'all are interested. I don't think it's too green. It actually looks pretty good. I guess for a lime one. It'd be awesome if I had the fruit canes that I've ordered already. I plan on making strawberry limeade. When I'm not drinking coffee, I want a Sonic strawberry limeade. And so I think I'm gonna try making one of those when I order more cups. I'm such a messy person. I think doing this in a bigger cup might actually be the wisest decision to do. But I'm a messy cooker as well. I make such a mess in my kitchen when I'm cooking. Just remember that the color is going to darken when you add your epoxy. I use the faux drizzle UV on my cups. I actually have a ton of Alumilite. I ordered just before I found out how much it yellows and how unpredictable it is. So I'm thinking if these do well for me, I'll probably just start using my Alumilite. That'll give me a little more time to work, as well as I can use up that epoxy. Because the faux drizzle actually, it cures really fast, and so I don't have a whole lot of time to use it. Alright, so see, that darkened up really well. And I'm going to go ahead and start packing it here in my cup. Make sure you get it packed in there, guys. I actually really like the green one. I didn't make a green one last night, and I just made the red and a purple and a blue. My kids, their favorite slushie at Sonic is actually a blue raspberry slushie, and so I tend to associate slushies, of course, with red, which, you know, that was the one I grew up with, the red, and then of course they started making it in Dr. Pepper flavor and Coke flavor. If you're from the South, you know that we are huge Dr. Pepper fans, especially us Texans. I'm a Texas transplant. I live in Alabama, but I grew up and was raised in Texas. I was born there, actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and start packing my top. Alright, another one down. So now I'm going to just set these aside and let them dry, and then I will add like my little stuff to the keychains and everything. I'm actually going to make a couple of coffee ones. I don't know if y'all are interested in seeing any of those being made. I'm going to make some more of the caramel macchiato ones because that's just freaking cool. I wasn't expecting it to turn out so well, but I'm in love and I'm sold. But I can end the video now, or you guys can hang around and see it. Let's see. Is anybody interested in seeing the caramel macchiato version? I've got a little bit of time to make these, so I'm gonna put my now, before I was able to order the ice cubes from Miss Jessica, I went and I found some of these fake ice cube thingies at Hobby Lobby. It's the only store I have close to me. I live in very rural Alabama, and these are too big for these, but they do well to fill these up, so I'm using less epoxy, and that's what I'm doing here is I'm just adding one to each of these cups. And I'm going to go ahead and make my white. You don't want to put too much white in it because it will get funky. For whatever reason, epoxy and acrylic paint, if you put too much, it will turn funny. Cup. My epoxy is going to start setting here pretty quick, so I need to get busy doing this. Make sure it is on the bottom fully. And we're going to mix a tiny bit of the brown. And this one you want to start, less is better. You can always make it darker, but it would be almost impossible to make lighter. So, and what I did with the last one is I actually made it to where it was light, poured it on the white, and then I added a little bit more to get it even darker. So I'm going to do a layer of this, and then I'm going to go darker. And I'm going to throw in some more of the ice cubes before I pour on the darker layer. And I have the ice cubes from Jessica. I'm just using this stuff up so I can not have a ton of supplies sitting here on my desk. Okay, so I'm going to go just a tad darker. One more drop. And for those of you wondering, this is just that Alumilite brown dye. I picked it up, this particular color, at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is the only place I can pick stuff up like that. Over. All right, and last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just kind of go down the sides and try to get it to mix just a little bit on the outside. Put my little topping on it. And try not to spill them. I'm going to try not to get epoxy completely on the sides of my cup, which I'm not doing a very good job at. And that's what I mean when I make a mess. I do make a huge mess most times. And now my toppings go on. And I need one more. I don't have it over here. So that's it, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit. I'm sorry. I will go back through and I'll answer questions. Like I said, I just can't see them on my tablet, so bear with me, and I will answer any questions that Jessica hasn't answered already. And thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, Jessica.